All right, we back again. We gonna get on our part two. So basically, what makes a woman feminine? Like what type of qualities, and what makes a woman submissive? And who better to have than a woman explain? All right. So in your opinion, what are some like qualities that makes a woman like feminine?
Feminine in general. Well, like inside qualities or like outside?
Both.
Okay,
Start with
so
one.
I think one thing about like being a feminine woman is just being able to take care of yourself, like in
Mm-hmm.
general, like on the outside, on the inside, making sure your mind is at rest because then it bleeds into your relationships with everybody else. Like
Mm-hmm.
it bleeds into your friendships, it bleeds into your relationship with your man, you know what I mean? And, being able to be submissive and that's not taking your power away. Like that's not a bad thing. You get with a man
Mm-hmm.
that you don't mind being submissive to, like a man that you respect his leadership. So
Yeah.
as long as you respect that man's leadership, it's easy to just kind of take the back seat. Like it's not hard.
Okay. So that's some of the main things. All right, this is a good one. So when it comes to being feminine, what are some of the easy things about it, and what are like some of the things that women may struggle with?
I think almost everything is easy about it. The only
Okay.
thing that's well, that's for me. I feel like I'm naturally kind of more feminine, but like for people who are trying to become more feminine,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You got to start off small, like doing things for yourself and like not always taking that leadership role in your life. Like if you are a CEO or something outside of your home,
Mm-hmm.
you're always having to take control of things and be in control of everything and like tell people what to do and stuff. And then like when you come home, it's time
Yeah.
for you to be able to like relax
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not have to, make all the decisions all the time and things. And I think that a lot of women actually want that.
Right.
It's like it's really taxing to have to be in control all the time. I
Right.
know that because I'm like mentally I feel like I always have to be in control of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it takes a lot of energy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
especially when things don't go your way or something, you're like, "Oh my god," and having to plan everything. It's just like too much.
Yeah. It's like basically trying to work a job that's not in your field.
Yeah, like it's just a lot.
Yeah.
So it's nice being able to not have to plan something and just like take take the back seat, so to speak,
Right.
and relax and let
Okay.
somebody else take control. Like,
That
and if you
makes
don't
sense.
like it, then that's okay. Like you can talk with your significant other about it
Right.
if it's something that you don't like. But it's just the final decision ends up coming to whoever is in the lead in the relationship or whatever.
Okay, that's a nice way to put things. And I think a lot of times come from upbringing, and it's like you're trying to undo something that's already like a habit. If you haven't really been taught to be a feminine person, and you're more masculine, like you may come from a household with a masculine leader, like a masculine mother, things like that happen a lot just in our community for one.
Like if they're single moms,
Yeah,
you have to, it's because they have to take that role, you know what I
right.
mean? And that's why it ends up being hard for them even to
Hmm.
bring in like a male partner, you know
Right.
what I mean? Because then they're butting heads all the time because you're so used to doing things your way and you're so set in your ways that it's hard to
Yeah.
just let somebody else come in and
Yeah.
do the things you're used to doing.
And that's how society. That's a whole different topic.
It is.
But society has purposely been groomed that way for not even our benefit, for our demise. But that's a whole nother episode right there.
It
That's
is.
getting too deep.
In my opinion though, like we're made this way for a reason. Like
Hmm.
women are made to be more feminine because we have to hold children, you know what I mean? We have
Hmm.
to bear children. So
We
like
nurturers.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
have the men to be able to protect the family and to take leadership in the family. It's just it all works and flows together,
Yeah.
you
It's like
know.
yin and
So
yang. And it comes with being masculine as far as a man. That'll be in the next episode. And a lot of times, like we said before, if you're a masculine male and you are with a masculine woman, like
how does it work?
how does that work?
Yeah.
Because you got the same puzzle piece you're trying to put together. Like if you ever done the puzzle, the pieces are opposite, but they come together and they make a picture, and that's what you need. And then a lot of the times, people want a feminine woman, but they don't know how to lead one,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
that'll
talk
get
about that. Talk about that. What do you
okay.
mean?
So if you want a feminine woman, but you are a man, you have feminine traits, and a lot of times it'll be what you see is masculine, but it's really not masculine. those are some things that you got to self-reflect and fix before you go after the feminine woman. Because a lot of times, if you lack a lot of your masculinity, this woman is feminine feels like she has to take on what? The leader role. And now y'all bumping heads.
So what are some traits that are like considered, because we all have a mixture of both in us, but like what are like 5 important ones for men to be like the masculine role?
To be considered masculine or what we view as masculine.
What's the difference?
So a lot of, if you ask the average guy what masculine is, they say, I feel like it's this, but it's not the actual answer. So you want what most people feel like is masculine or the actual answers?
The actual answer.
Okay.
Like in your opinion.
All right. So one I will go with is courage for one. And I use that example because that's not no toxic masculinity right there when I say courage. You and your spouse are asleep and you hear a noise downstairs and you jump behind your wife. That's not masculine, bro. Like, you're not courageous, for one. And then we'll say for 2 will be loving. Loving, it doesn't, I know with our masculine traits, especially from like grandpas and stuff like that, wasn't really much of a thing to be loving. Like your grandpa love you, but he not real emotional. He don't really show emotion. He's always like tough, stern, straight face. And that's something
they're stoic.
Yeah, like
I think that's kind of a masculine trait too.
Yeah.
Like I think stoicism is like a masculine trait because if you have your woman that's like going off and like being all in her feelings and super emotional and stuff, like, and you just come at it like with a calm, like a calmness to you, like everything is okay, like it's gonna be fine, like it's no problem, then it immediately makes your woman feel like everything is fine. You know what I mean? Instead of you matching her energy with more emotion, that's like feminine.
Yeah, and that's something to learn. You find a balance with it. So not, it's quite how the older generations were too stern, like they love you, but they don't really explain it too much. But you don't want to be no crybaby either and boo-hooing and all emotional. So you find a balance to be loving, but still in a way of a leader.
Yeah.
You want to be protecting, which is also a part of courage, I guess.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
let's
definitely.
see, what do we name so far? Courage,
Courage.
loving. Oh, a good listener.
Yes.
You have to be a good listener to be a good teacher.
Definitely.
And then that even comes with, even though you have the leadership role, you still have to take ideas from the person that you lead because they may have ideas that you may not have had or a different point of view. You can't be a good leader if the people following your lead, you feel like their opinions ain't important. Because now you suck as a leader. Now they start to look at you like, man, I'm sick of so-and-so. Like, they don't listen to nothing I have to say.
Right.
They start to not respect your leadership. Just like a job, you got a boss or something like that. They don't want to care about when nobody say everything is my way or the highway. That's not a masculine trait.
Right. And I think being able to make decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being patient, that's another one. Patience. And then when you are a leader and you got people that's antsy up under you and you antsy too and you impatient, you're not showing them how to become a better version of themselves. So you got to have patience.
Right.
And that way when somebody is franticking and panicking and you cool, calm, and collective, that's something they look at like, man, that's okay. I respect that. Because even though things is hot right now, you still keeping it cool. Like, you able to keep your composure under pressure. Like, that's a big thing about being a leader.
Definitely. And so many things fall into like those subcategories, but yeah,
this is like the vast majority.
So to round it all up, you said courage, loving,
good listener,
patience, and like control of or decision making.
Your decision making is another one.
And like control of your feelings.
Yeah, and being
because
responsible
even
too.
anger is a feeling. Like, I think that's something like with men in general is that one of the emotions that they feel the most is usually anger. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way of expressing it. Expressing emotion, it usually results to anger. You feel upset. You feel disrespected. You feel stressed out. You feel anxious. A man is not typically going to boo-hoo and just bust out crying when stuff ain't going his way. He's more than likely going to be angry. He's going to show anger. And that's especially like coming from our type of upbringing where we from, anger is viewed as more masculine. But in reality, that's more of an emotional trait. Like, you look at somebody the wrong way, result to anger. You say the wrong thing, it's anger. Like that's like the
Yeah,
go-to.
that's
But
not a
that's
masculine trait.
and that we have always been taught that's what's respected. You want to be that type of person because now
Mm-hmm.
people fear you and look at you as a leader. But in reality, you want to be cool, calm, and collective because it take more effort to
Mm-hmm.
control your anger than to just
Exactly.
give in to your emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's a real masculine trait. That went in the
Yeah.
earlier when I was saying like actual masculine answers or what people feel makes you masculine.
Exactly, because that
Yeah.
goes into like the types of leaders that there are too. You know what I mean? There's
Hmm.
dictatorships, like there's
Yeah.
relationships that kind of work like that. Like as like the dictatorship, like man, that's like whenever men are like abusive and stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But there's good leaders, and then there's like people who lead, but they're not necessarily good leaders.
Yeah. Because anybody can lead. That don't make you good at
Yeah,
it.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
just look at where the world is at right now. Like it's a lot
Hmm.
of leaders
Right. What do you view as feminine traits
and a man or
in
woman.
a woman? Like what are good traits to look for in a woman?
Oh, okay. One, listening. Even though that can go on both sides, but some women are so masculine that is I say what I said. Like you come across a lot of I said what I said type of women. That's not a feminine trait because you are being more of a leader and not letting somebody lead. Especially it could be like a man trying to tell you something about how men are, and it's like, well, I said men are this way, even though this person's never been a man. Like that's something this real popular right now in the climate we in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. One thing is being a nurturer and being loving. That's viewed as a feminine trait. Being softer,
Definitely.
having and another one like a woman that doesn't have show no emotion. Like that's a masculine trait. Like
Yeah.
it may be for they feel like it's for their own benefit, so they don't get hurt.
It's
Which,
for their own protection. Like
yeah,
people build up a wall, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And that usually happens when people are hurt over and over again.
yeah, that's natural
Type of
as
thing.
humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's one thing. Like being open and being soft.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay for women to be soft. Society got it to where it looked like it's a bad thing,
Ain't
but
nothing wrong with being
yeah, there's
soft. I
nothing wrong with
love soft
that.
life, okay?
Yeah, and then the better you are as a leader, like you bring that out in a woman, the right woman that wants to be that way, because it's
Mm-hmm.
something that could care less about all that. You
Yeah.
can be as nice as you want to be in a good leader, but if they don't want to be led,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Some
wasting your
women
time.
just don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They just
and that's
don't want
fine
to. Yeah.
because you have feminine men that are meant to be with those type of masculine women. Like some women will rather call the shots, like they don't want a man telling them what to do, and there's some men that are cool with the woman calling the shots, and they just take the
Because they
back
don't
seat.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah,
But to me, it's like a man's duty to do those things. You know what I mean? It's
yep,
like their duty to be that way and to take lead over their family and like
yep,
make decisions. Like that's, to me, that's like a man's job.
yeah,
And then same like vice versa, like for a woman, like we take care of things on the back end too, you know what I mean, like
right.
in the home and stuff. Like
Yeah, that's what's important. But like we say, teachers on, there's somebody for everybody.
definitely.
And a lot of time when we say men this and women that, it's like more statistics. Like
It's speaking
vast,
in general.
yeah,
We're
like
not talking about the people who like, because there's a lot of people who don't meet those
right,
meet in those boxes, but we're
yeah,
talking in general the people who are in those boxes.
right. Like if we say men are taller, typically taller than women, that's when somebody. Well, I know a girl that's. We're not talking about them. We're saying as a whole, men are usually taller, the women are usually shorter. But it don't mean that every woman is short, every man is tall.
Yeah, not everybody
Yeah.
fits the box.
So that's what we
Okay.
mean when we say men this, women that.
Right.
We know it's exceptions and stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, it's some men that are not meant to be leaders, which that's totally fine because that fit for your situation. Because if every man was trying to be a leader and there's some women that want to be leaders, somebody gonna have to compromise or vice versa.
Right.
So everybody just gotta find how to work on what works for them.
Period.
And just be honest with whatever works for you, express that. Cause at the end of the day, you're gonna always feel how you feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then just telling somebody the opposite of how you feel, that don't benefit you or them. Cause now
Right.
they not sure how to move, or they moving the way they feel like they should move,
Mm-hmm.
and you not happy with how things is moving because you never said how you want things to move.
Exactly. And if you feel some type of way, like if you want your relationship to be a certain kind of way, there's always going to be somebody else who also wants their relationship to look that way.
Right.
So it's like just finding the people that will go with you and work with you instead of trying to make somebody who's like definitely not with that type of program. fit that kind of program.
Right.
If they're not with it, they're not with it, and that's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You meet everybody in life for a reason. Even if it's just somebody you met briefly, it was for whatever reason y'all needed to cross paths. And some people, it's not meant for y'all to be hanging or be in contact for a lifetime. Sometimes it was for a learning experience. This person might have been masculine and they dated somebody masculine and they both learned something from it, or vice versa. Two feminists together. It was for them to learn something, and then you go throughout life and you take what you learned and you use it to benefit at this point in life. That's what it's all about. It's about growth. And a lot of times, if you're in a situation and you're not growing, you're not gaining nothing from it, you're in the wrong situation.
Yeah.
That's kind of how life works. Life will let you know. Like you got life's answers and your answer. Life gonna show you an answer. It might not be what you like, but the human thing is to go with what you feel. And I can care less with the vibe for like I'm trying to do this and it don't work.
Yep.
And some people learn that quick, like dang, I done made the wrong choice. And some people keep trying the same thing over and over for years and be in the same spot. Everybody know people like that, like friends and people around us is like, man, they still in the same boat. I be trying to help them, but man, they
stuck in their ways.
Yeah, sometimes which is normal. That's the human thing. We get stuck in our ways. As long as we identify when we get stuck in certain ways and we try to fix it one step at a time, at least.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, that's the masculine, feminine traits. We can go all day with this, but this is just a couple more pointers. Hopefully, we can help some people out with that.
All right.
All right. Till next time, subscribe, like, comment. More on the way.